Howdy folks, got a Hercules 10-inch job site saw, Harbor Freight Special. Picked this up a couple of years ago because it was well within my price range, and it's performed pretty good. It's done everything I've ever asked it to, with the exception of tonight. We'll pan over here to the stack of 8-quarter red oak. These pieces that are on the assembly table are going to be a tabletop. They're going to be a panel glue up for a dining room table, so I have to have perfectly straight glue lines on those. And anybody who's ever used a job site saw knows that that's incredibly difficult to produce a perfectly straight glue line, especially on some really thick material, really thick and heavy. I've got a couple of pieces here that are pushed together. As you can see, they're two pieces, and when I push them together, we've got a perfectly straight, perfectly crisp, glue line. I can apply glue, apply some clamps, squeeze that together. It's going to be beautiful. And how I did that, I tried and tried and tried to follow that little dinky fence, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't keep the material tied up against that fence, mainly because there's not enough fence or table on the front of this to hold everything perfectly straight. You've got very little distance to reference right here to keep anything straight. So what I do, I made a table saw extension, and I saw this design on YouTube today. I think Woodwork Web. But you can see that greatly increased the amount of surface area, especially at the beginning of the cut, that I can reference my edge jointed side of my board up against and then get a perfectly good straight cut. And let's see. This is a 15 amp saw, so it's powerful enough to do most jobs. This 8-quarter really works that motor out, and it does some significant bogging down and some annoying stuff like that leaves burn marks on the edge. And I'll flip these boards on end and let you see. Sorry, one-handed. Let you see that there's no burn marks on this wood. I wish I had one here to show you what that a burn mark is a big blade mark, and it's big unevenness and crap. So what I do, how I get around that is I'll measure and I'll cut the material a little bit big for the first cut. So for instance, this board is somewhere around 8 inches right now. So the first cut I made on it, I made it at 8 1/16. And then the second time, I adjusted my fence over 1/16 of an inch closer to the blade, ran it through again, and just taking off just a little bit of material, this saw will handle that perfectly and flawlessly. But you can't get a perfect cut the first time, not with this underpowered saw. So anyways, I hope that helps out anybody that's having trouble cutting straight on any job site saw. But I'm pretty impressed. I thought I was going to have to go out and buy a new table saw to do this project, and I was perfectly happy with that idea. My wife, not so much. So she's she's probably happy I came up with this Baltic birch fence extension. So, and I kind of changed the design from what I saw. The guy that I saw, he put some draw bolts in between connecting these two pieces of wood out past the fence lock, and then he did the same thing down here, and he just tightened them with a wing nut or whatever. When I did that and I tested it out, and maybe it's because my extensions are a little bit longer than his was, but when I did that and I applied pressure towards the end, I noticed the middle was bowing out away from the fence. So I knew that wasn't wasn't straight. So I put a clamp right on the center, and these boards, these Baltic birch plywood pieces are dead straight. And then I cut these little blocks and I attached them to the top. I glued and screwed them, and made it a snug fit, and it's perfect. So anyways, hope that helps out somebody. See you.